To access all full body language videos, breakdowns and analysis, alongside the game that I can't feature here on YouTube, check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. Thanks.
Yes! Everyday Superpower, where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. Continuing on with our video here. If you're just joining me now, get yourself to the start. Alright? Blind dating a famous comedian. They're finally meeting the famous comedian. Let's see who has what to say, shall we?
Finished.
Oh, perfect.
Weren't you white boy of the month last month?
Why don't you have earrings? You're like unseasoned a little, but it's okay.
You're like unseasoned a little, yeah. He should pipe up. It's like, bruh, I'd get her off of the program. So if you're just joining me now, this lady's racist. You can't be racist against white people, bruh. You trying to garner my attention? I thought, no. She's always been angry. She was angry from the get-go. She has an undercurrent of aggression, and it's like,
Oh, perfect.
Weren't you white boy of the month last
but she did so because she was enabled by Barbie here in pink talking about white boy, and she's brought white boy up because the other lady brought his race up, because otherwise she wouldn't have mentioned it. Imagine going on a date with a white person as a white person and she refers to you like as a white person. It's not gonna happen. Honestly, it's not gonna happen. This group of people is toxic, and I bet you the amount of Netflix they watch between them, the amount of programming that has been force-fed into their awareness of the world is an unbelievable... I can't put it into words, man.
month?
Why don't you have earrings?
Why don't you have earrings?
You're like unseasoned a little.
You're like unseasoned a little. How desperate are you to try to ask for my attention through this means? Don't get me wrong, it's some form of shit test, because if you are to respond to this in an overtly aggressive manner, she's going to point the finger at you like you're a problem, right? I only said that, but you do have to shut it down. You do have to say, stop saying that. And then she will understand where your boundary is placed. Oh, he's not going to allow me to racially abuse him. You know, what you're experiencing now with these questions are shit tests in their own form. And he's being peppered by them. So first and foremost, he needs to stay stoic and resolute and centered. And act appropriately. If he feels like his boundary has been overstepped, he has to, as a man, say, hey, stop it. You know? And then he's going to impress to everyone that he does have that boundary. It's like, not only is he being shit tested, but his results are going to amplify tenfold given the amount of women he's before. If he gets shot down and embarrasses himself, he's embarrassed himself in front of all these people, and so it's going to be hard to climb that ladder back up. But if he amplifies and pedestalizes himself above one woman, essentially does it across the board to all the others. Not only that, but nullifying her power in the group, right? Burying her, she's now going to try twice as hard to garner your attention and get back in your good books.
But it's okay.
What's with the attitude?
So he said, what's with the attitude? I thought he was going to comment on, you know, the concept matter. But I like her. She's coy. She's just relying on her beautiful looks. We've got Ariana Grande there at the front. She's not been a problem. I said at the start, I think she's all right. I think she's all right. She knows she's beautiful. We need to get to know her. But she's not overt. She's not crass. She's not playing the nonsense. A lot of these others are. Anyway, so he says, what's with the... Let's have a look.
last month?
Why don't you have earrings? You're like unseasoned a little, but it's okay.
What's with the attitude?
What's with the attitude? She disconnects, looks straight to the side, right? Not in submission, but in defiance. Looks away. And I'm speaking on the girl who asked the question. holding on to both her hands. She's a problem. Get her off. This girl at the back here hasn't really spoken too much. The tall girl with the brown hair. She's jarred away from him to some extent. She looks like she's facing the production team more so than him. All right. Ginger girl at the back has formed an alliance with Pink girl. I think they sort of share the same spot in the marketplace. Purely as Ginger girl's a little bit of a plain Jane in relation to the rest of them at least. And Pink girl's a little bit socially awkward, so I think they align in that regards. Goth girl here at the side is performative. She looks like she will question if you disagree with her opinion on what, as I said earlier, Netflix will inform you of. You know, she takes her political ideology from Netflix, and if you were to disagree with her, she'll look at you like you're dumb. She needs putting in her place. Girl at the front has got her phone lines shown. They've chosen like the most toxic group of low frequency women for this. Honestly, so far, I think the only okay choice are the two girls at the front. Ariana Grande and the black girl. I think they are both okay as of so far. I mean, as far as personality is concerned, the tall girl on the left as well, but she isn't that pretty to me. So I'm not too bothered. But yeah, the two girls at the front. These are the only girls who have got to let me down at this point. But the girl who has got her thong string showing, why are you just so overtly sexual? When you're so overtly sexual and sexualizing yourself and craving the attention of the masculine, it shows that there's a potential that you didn't garner that in your childhood years, and that's why you are projecting this right now. You know, when girls with daddy issues per se, become sluts, for lack of a better word, it's to garner the attention of the masculine as to which that inner child needs, right? Because it didn't receive that during youth. And I'm not saying that this is the case in this way, but I would be offended as a man if you approached me and dressed like this in order to garner my attention because you just group me in with the rest of the other men who leave comments on your Instagram photos because you show a little bit of skin. Nah, I'm not like that. I'm not after that. You're not going to trap and capture the hard work I've done as a famous comedian, an individual who's built a reputable business and established a great product and a great brand. You think your body that you were given through your diet of gin and tonics and Walker's crisps, you think that's sufficient for me to take you as mine?
You guys are projecting your own insecurities?
He's talking about projecting your own insecurities, and he's right, because that girl who's bringing up race might be doing so, pinning the race card on him, whereas she might be looking at herself thinking, I don't have the competitive value as these white girls, because these white girls reflect who he is, you know? And there's nothing wrong in that. It's like, we are attracted to what we are alike. Me personally, if she wasn't aggressive, I'd think she was very attractive. I think she's very attractive.
But it's okay.
What's with the attitude? You guys are projecting your own insecurities? She hasn't said anything. I love her yet.
There you go. She hasn't said anything. I love her yet. She's playing a law of power here. Always say less than necessary. You know what I mean? And men, you can learn a lot from this. I was at a job one time. Yeah. I said nothing. I was young. I was garnering attention by saying fuck all. Don't say a single thing. Don't explain yourself. Don't introduce yourself. Just be part of the process, and the women will think, who is this guy? I need to work out who this guy is, because there's a degree of discomfort that he is producing in me because I don't understand who he is. And as a human, I need to understand who I'm working with. And this can coexist throughout a 10-year marriage. You know what I mean?
You were the type that...
Right. She's dangerous. She's dangerous. She responds by looking down, smiling. The pushing of the arms inwards hyper accentuates the cleavage And as we spoke on the last video, the cleavage is a mirror image of the behind, right? We shouldn't have that much fat, extra fat on our chest that serves no purpose the whole year round. It serves as a purpose, evolutionary speaking, as a sexual signifier, right?
Said anything, I love her yet.
But he says that she doesn't smile organically straight away. There's not an instant organic response like there is with the rest of the women, right? She hears what he's saying, she waits, and then she performs. Yeah? This isn't an organic response. This is a performative Disneyland response, right? Do you know why? Because she knows how valuable she is. She walks through life knowing she's valuable. She can probably get better than this guy. Whereas the rest of the women understand their value, right? And so they're going to pedestalize him and fight for him. She's going to make him fight for her. This is a game of dynamic and value. Yeah, don't go licking your lips and doing all of this shit. Because I thought you were coy. I thought you were nice before that.
I'm Trevor Wallace, YouTuber, comedian, genius.
Interesting. Pay attention.
I'm Trevor Wallace, YouTuber.
He says YouTuber first. That's where his money comes from. I don't know this guy, by the way, but I'm paying attention to how he organizes and orchestrates his... I mean, let's be truthful. This is where he gets his money from. Like, these are his jobs, right?
But no one would ever. I'm Trevor Wallace, YouTuber.
So he says YouTuber first.
Comedian.
Comedian second.
Genius.
Genius, hilarious, right?
Oh.
Humble.
No, nobody laughs, you know, because I thought the same thing. Humble.
Humble.
Can a guy talk?
No.
Like, can we stop?
Can a guy talk, he asks. She says no.
Humble.
They're forming a wall against him here, all right? He should have just said what it was. Sometimes the funny guy doesn't work. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you go on a date, as I've spoken, these women say they like funny guys. To be funny is just to be in a position of dominance. Let me say it once, I'll say it again. The subordinate smiles more, laughs more when engaging with the boss because there's a need to appease what links into the hardwiring of their biology as an animal, right? It's a natural response. I want a man who's funny, she says, basically meaning I want a dominant man who makes me feel submissive. That's it. That's the bottom line.
Can a guy talk?
No.
Like, can we stop silencing?
Now have a look. Watch.
Humble.
Can a guy talk?
No.
She laughs in pink. As she laughs in pink, she turns and looks at her friend to see how her friend is reacting. There's an engagement here, a communication between the two. When he says, can I talk? She says no, shuts him down, sends him to hell. Like I said, you want to climb a yes ladder, not a no ladder. The no ladder goes nowhere. A yes ladder climbs to wherever you want. This is a sales psychology technique. You are selling yourself as a product, right? Tall girl, left-hand side, who's keeping herself to herself. She's grimacing, both sets of teeth showing, right? Nose flared, face scrunched, defensive in the face. Woman in front of her, who's been aggressive up until this point, continues to be aggressive as she juts her jaw in defiance, right? Exposing her throat because she's not fearful of attack, right? But she's not showcasing the sides of her neck, which would be indicative of submission. She's concealing the sides of her neck, whereas she's exposing the throat to say, I'm not scared. The jutting of the chin serves as a defensive mechanism as to when you're going in a fight. And I know this is counterproductive if you're like into boxing and stuff and you say you don't want to, you know, make your chin a target and whatnot. But this is, you know, the nonverbal limbal biology of our ancestry. And this is how it manifests, right? Ariana Grande at the front is trying to actively seduce, and if he falls for her trap and starts commenting on her appearance and starts giving her attention purely because of how she looks, she's going to use and abuse him. He needs to engage in conversation and engage with the real her. What's the real her? The real her is her conscience. The real her is her thought process, her mind. The real her is that which does not exist in this material plane. He needs to see her with the depth that no other man has seen her before, because every man has cast judgment upon her physical appearance, and she's used to that. She knows how to manipulate that. Don't speak to her or engage with her purely down to the fact that she looks good. Honestly. Black girl up front, she's not shot herself in the head yet. She's like the only one who's been okay. And I say that because Ariana Grande did appeal to me, but not when she started. You know, she didn't need to overtly sexualize herself by licking her lips and accentuating her cleavage by pushing her breasts together and stuff when he gave her attention. No. I understand, but can't we just be normal? You know, this is an incredibly performative group, and they've come here with... I don't know. We're only going to have to find out by continuing. Goth Girl is shielding her genital area, holding onto her wrist, which is a regressive behaviour, sends you back to childhood as to when an authority figure used to do so. It's, you know, a protective mechanism. What more needs to be said? Let's keep going. So, Tattoo Girl said no, and it's like, just shut the fuck up. Who you saying no to, bitch?
Like, can we stop silencing men?
But she sees, or they see him as a man who is defending himself, right? So they unconsciously identify the fact that he is covering himself, covering his ventral side, covering up his internal organs in fear of an attack, yeah?
Humble.
They're not stupid. They've seen this behavior all the way through their entire life.
Can a guy talk?
No.
Like, can we stop silencing male voices in this economy?
Can we stop silencing male voices in this economy? She starts clapping, but
No.
this is a release of nervous or extra energy.
Can we stop silencing?
The hands don't raise to the sky, as we spoke of. When she was celebrating with her back turned to him initially, the hands raised to the sky, so we do know that is within the capabilities of her body language.
Male voices in
She does do that when she's happy. She does not do that this time. She only reaches halfway. The elbows are weapons, look.
economy?
Defensive mechanism. He's brought up males. In the past, she brought up domestic violence and stuff. There's a disconnect politically here. You know, a gender relations issue here. This is a display of aggression and, you know, defensive mechanism and in its own way violence on her own end. You know what I mean? When we're talking about domestic violence, maybe that was a projection of self, because look at this behavior. This isn't an agreement and a clap in a supportive manner. Look. That's aggressive. That's aggressive. The elbows are aggressive. The knees are aggressive. The fists are aggressive. Not that she's showcasing all of these, but I'm telling you, when you see these body parts or the clenching of the fist manifest, it is a deep-seated anger that they're probably unaware of, right? But it expresses itself through the body. I'm putting you on some game. Click like and subscribe if you're on the YouTube, yeah?
Yeah, she gets it.
He points. He says she gets it, not understanding, counteracting the aggression with a highlighting with the finger. The finger serves as a sword. The finger serves as a spear, right? We've spoken on effective pointing in the past. Point with the palms of the hand, the fingers atop of each other. Don't point with the single finger, right? Generally speaking, parents will tell their kids without knowing why, don't point, it's rude, right? So he is symbolically jabbing at her as she puts this defensive mechanism up and fights him off with the two of her elbows. Okay?
What he said?
Yeah. Yeah, what the f she clap for? Just kidding, I love my mom. I got both parents. I have a cat.
I love cats. Can you
Wow.
make
I have a cat.
my pussy purr?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What?
Parents. I have a cat.
I have, what?
I love cats. Can you
Wow.
make my pussy purr?
Up until you did the meow part.
So they're trying to align in this he's a comedian, I've got to match his energy realm. And there's a thing with female comedians and female artists and such, you know, female musicians, where people get a bit, well, you know what, I disagree with what I just said there with the musicians. Female rappers or pop culture, right, where the woman has to overtly sexualize herself and promote herself through this overt sexualization. Now, it's completely understandable why, because the woman's body and sexuality is like the most valuable product on planet Earth, right? That's why, you know, the game of pimping and hoeing is the oldest job in history, right? To this day, it's still manifests in its own way. And you can say, oh, I'm independent, I'm a woman, I'm on OnlyFans, I run my own business and stuff. Bruh, you're getting pimped by a man who's making a cut off of your, you know, your intake. Real talk, look into it. You're still being pimped. You're still selling yourself for money. And I've engaged with women over this because ladies who are more respectable and don't utilize this means of marketing and garnering attention, they shun the women in a competitively anxious means and say, why does she always have to have her breasts out when she's doing this job? Can't she just do it normally and blah, blah, blah? And the point is because she garners more attention whilst her breasts are out, right? Whereas when it comes to men, yeah, there's a value applied to the genetics of a man, i.e. do you look good? Are you good breeding stock? Are you going to ensure that our child is able to procreate? That's like my biological drive to being attracted to you. That's the black pill, right? That's the alpha male. He just looks good. He's great. He's tall. He's strong. He has a jawline. He's got a strong brow and all this and that. I'm attracted to him purely because of that, let alone who he is as a person. That's not as important to men as it is the equivalent to the woman. Because the man's not going to get hard and erect to a woman he doesn't deem sexually attractive, right? So that's all he needs. Whereas she might want a bright future. She might want a fatherly figure. She might want good genetic offspring. There's so many different elements to take into consideration here. But she's just been overtly sexual to try to compete with her counterparts. If anything, at this point, you're competing with your counterparts by not being trash, in all honesty. But let's continue on in the next video. I'll see you there, people. Peace. Everyday superpower, where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. Continuing onwards with our watch of this video. All right, blind dating a famous comedian. We're breaking it down, the communications, the engagements, and everything in between. Yeah, so we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to continue onwards. This girl has just piped up with an overt sexual statement, such as the rest of them. They're all trying their hardest to out-sexualize each other in this bizarre projection of self-perceived value. Well, if he doesn't see me as sexy as the others, he's not going to find me valuable. And the reality is you look cheap and you look like you're overcompensating. Do you not have anything else to offer? See you in a second, Joe.
To access all full body language videos, breakdowns and analysis, alongside the game that I can't feature here on YouTube, check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. Thanks.